People, deluded, I'm back again. Now, young Eddie Nketiah, 20 years of age, ended the season on a high, accomplished what most people, you and I, wanted to do as a child, scoring in the Premier League, scoring for our favoured team. He's obviously scored against Burnley last season. He obviously scored as an 18-year-old at the Emirates under the lights against Norwich. And obviously he was released from Chelsea, but he's been an Arsenal boy for a number of years now. That's what man dream about. He can taste it. He's on the cusp of the first team. He's travelling. He's made a couple of appearances. He can taste it. On one hand, you can't call yourself an Arsenal player, because an Arsenal first team player, because you're not there yet. But on the other hand, you do. You travel. You're there for depth purposes. He finds himself where many young players are now, where they can taste it. They're so close, but they're arguably yet so far in that. With Welbeck's injury, in fact, prior to Welbeck's injury, you all know Wells would be third choice, but he featured quite prominently under Unai Emery, Europa League, on the flanks and whatnot. And to be fair to Wells, he was doing all right in terms of goal scoring before his injury. With that injury, young striker like Eddie, you would have thought chances would have been afforded to fill that void. They didn't really come. He got a couple minutes against United. He obviously played against Burnley, but more often than not, the amount of times he travelled with the squad and was on the bench and things to the minutes, it's a bit of a negative correlation. There's even times where we've been chasing games, you've seen creative mids come on, you've seen left backs come on to play wing back and provide an attacking option, but you haven't seen Eddie Nketiah come off the bench. That would tell me personally, if I was Eddie, that the coach rates me, the coach will use me. You've seen it against Blackpool, and that I've had chances. But he doesn't really, I wouldn't say he doesn't believe in me, but does he truly believe in me? If we're chasing a game, I'm a striker. I've made my career off, fair enough, it's youth level, but I've scored goals for fun. We're chasing the game. You're not bringing me off the bench. You're bringing Cola. What does that tell you, people, really and truly? That I'm beyond depth purposes, whether he thinks I'm not ready, whether he doesn't really truly rate me, whether there's just a reluctance to play me, I'm not getting games. Minutes are currency. Eddie Nketiah clearly has developed a lot. Obviously, playing on loan, he said he don't want to go out on loan, actually. Obviously, going out on loan, playing regular first-team football, which he could have done in January when he had German interest, will develop in. I've always told you, lot, there's always the developing you can do, remaining close to the squad under Unai Emery's eye, seeing what Lacazette and Aubameyang, for instance, do in training, their finishing sort of thing, and can take you to the next level. Personally, I believe there's only so much of that. The second option I said, there's only so much you can do of that. There's only so much theory training you can do without practically trying stuff. And at the end of the day, you can do all the theory assessments with training with them too. But if you're not playing, are you really developing? 20 years of age, kind of needs to play, people. He said he doesn't want to go out on loan. And to be fair, whether a man go out on loan, leave clubs permanently or stay at clubs, I want players to just do this thing individually. They've decided that that's what they want to do. And if that's what he's decided, no advisor, no one at the club has pushed him into this decision, I'm all for it. Of course he would want to make it at Arsenal. Of course, if he thinks, okay, Wells has gone permanently now, there'll be chances where I'm utilised. Okay, cool. But if we look at it in that, okay, Lacazette and Aubameyang are going to play ahead of him 9 times out of 10. If he goes with one striker, it complicates things. We've obviously got a lot of midfielders. Obviously, strikers and midfielders don't directly correlate, people. But you've got to think between midfielders and Eddie, that could be one less space. That's one less space up for grabs on the subs bench. Do you get it? With Nelson coming back as well, people. That's one less squad role potentially about. That's one less appearance every so often for everybody. So it can be a bit of a tough one, people. If he genuinely believes he can get games here, then fair play, should go and do his thing. I believe he's betting on a lot. This season, is at least initially, it'll be more or less the same in that you'll be travelling with the squad and whatnot. You'd probably have to make up the bulk of your minutes at under 23s level, which... well, I wonder what that means for Tyrese John-Jules, someone who I believe within the next 6 months should be looking to go out on loan. And Balogun and Greenwood, who at 18s level want to kick on into that. Well, Balogun's technically 23s next year. If Eddie's there, he kind of holds up their playing time and development and stuff like that. If Eddie wants to stay and believes he can, then yeah, he should believe he can. He obviously spoke at the Arsenal kit launch, and he said, my ideal scenario is to be playing here. I want to play here next season, but we've got to see how that goes. I'm confident enough in my ability that I'm good enough to play here. So I've just got to work hard and show the manager that I can. I've put the other quote somewhere else. Give me 1 second, people. Yeah, he said that we've already mentioned the ideal scenario. He said, I am confident enough in my ability that I'm good enough to play here. So I've just got to work hard and show the manager that I can. My aim is to play for Arsenal. That is my goal and has been my aim since I've been a kid. It's great to have two of the best strikers in the world around you and to learn from every day. I'm just progressing, trying to catch them and make the gap smaller and smaller. So that's someone that's seeing what they do, how they maneuver, and staying close to Una Emery so that he's always in his thinking sort of thing, versus out of sight, out of mind. What else has he got? I wouldn't change anything. I've tried my hardest, worked hard, and with the chances, I think I've done well. Of course, I would have liked to have played more, but that's something that I've out of my hand, and it has been both managers' decisions. He's obviously referring to Emery as well as Wenger. But I've been progressing well as a player, and I can look back with pride, push on, and make sure the next coming season is a good one for me. I think it's important over the years. It's what Arsenal have prided themselves on. He's speaking about young players now, on having great youngsters coming through. He added, I think with the bunch we have right now, me, Joe Willock, Reece Nelson and the other boys, we are good players for our age and we just have to keep pushing. And why not? I think the fans would love to see a lot of the young boys in the team week in, week out. So come the start of the season, we will be pushing to get in the team on a regular basis. He actually said regularly, but I mean remixed it. Now, fair play if that's what he wants to do. I like to see confidence, people. I want all my young players to do. I would love Eddie to progress into first team level and be a regular of some sorts. He's going to have to be prolific, or he's going to have to be a great team player, because we've seen many young players prolific at that level. Whether they've got the chance or not, it just simply hasn't been replicated. So if he's prepared to wait out at least the first 6 months, rely on Europa League appearances and starts, hopefully get his chance, couple minutes here and there in the league, and then you take them, fair play. Me personally, I'd be trying to go out on loan because I'm not too sure how much football I'd be getting. Joe Willock as well. I think Nelson and Emil might look to go out on loan, but Nelson and Emil are the only two I can convincingly say I see actually getting regular football, people. I would love Saka and Nketiah and all these young players to gradually be introduced into the first team over pre-season, but I only see Emery honestly giving Nelson and maybe Emil if he's at the club substantial chances. Of course, I don't know. And you don't know me, I want all of these young players to play. And Willock's obviously got a couple starts in the Europa, but the amount of games that Arsenal play in this season with Europa League, FA Cup and everything else to the amount of minutes they played, does it directly correlate? Of course, they're all developing and stuff, and if they want to stay for another year and develop, then cool, fair play. How much you can develop playing 23s football, playing the bulk of 23s football, I'm not too sure. There's only so much travelling, being on the bench, training with Aubameyang and Lacazette you can do. But at the end of the day, if this is what Eddie feels is best for him, then that's what he feels best for him, to be fair, man. So we'll see how it goes. I wish him all the best in pre-season, as I do with all of these young players. But on that note, people, Deluded, I'm out. Thank you for watching.